Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in the Berkeley Middle East Training Center. My name is Stefan Hofer. I'm your Human Resources Management lecturer, and I'm here to today show you a little bit about possible courses you could do. I'm quite often asked over the last time which course for further education on the job, besides the job, I would suggest if someone wants to reach a next step on the HR career ladder, having more knowledge and even probably a new title which shows internationally that he has a certain level and which looks good on the CV, that everybody can immediately see that he is a HR manager. We have indeed several of those courses which we can provide, but for that purpose I actually favorite one course provided by Human Resources Certification Institute, which is actually one of the oldest institutes about human resources, which exists already since mid of last century. You have to admit that human resources is quite a new discipline in the international business environment. It was actually after the World War II when they started to recruit and train people for human resources. It's actually a typical military thing originally, as nobody knows today anymore, because in military that was always a big thing to recruit the right people, to train them, and then to promote them in the ranking of the army. And after the war, it started to become more important in the international business environment. Human Resources Certificate Institute were the first, together with another one, they split it later then, who started to define what it needs to be a professional human resources manager. They first of all needed to define what a human resources job should look like. And that's what they did, and today we have a very sophisticated job analysis. We have sophisticated job descriptions within the whole human resources environment. So let's look what Human Resources Certification Institute offers as certificates, especially two on which I would like to focus today. That is the Professional in Human Resources International, which is already a nice level for professionals who have already a certain experience, who can show with this degree that they have a certain mastery in technical and operational HR practices. And having that on the CV is already showing that you can be hired actually everywhere, at least in the upper middle management of a company in Human Resources Department. And then we have even one higher. We have the Senior Professional Human Resources International, which is a level which actually already proves that you are higher middle management, or even on the step, a little bit depending on your experience so far, even on the step to the next level of an executive, of maybe even a CHRO on a management board. Both of these certificates are examined on a computer-based exam. The good thing is it's the same course, it's just a different exam. So the online exam for the senior will be, of course, a little bit more, or quite a bit more difficult. The eligibility to join the course is a little bit different, so we need more senior people to do that with a lot more experience already. In the exams, the outline is a bit different, and we have a different format and, of course, the difficulty level. If you look at the content of the course, I come back later on this Berkeley Middle East certifications. When you look at the content, the preparation course, how it looks like, we have this education, as I said at the beginning, is a typical extra occupational education. That means you can go on with your job. You will not lose on performance. You can do that when you wish to do it. It can be a weekend, it can be an evening. We are flexible. It can be in several courses, it can be in one or two long courses, which I really don't suggest because you need always time to digest a little bit what you learned. It's actually comprising 5 self-contained books on 5 important disciplines. So each book itself is already a chapter which is contained in itself. We have a total lecturing time of about 25 hours. That's the average. Can be a little bit more or a little bit less, depends on the students. And then you can as well, that is the interesting thing here, you can as well choose. You can select only one book on one topic which is very interesting for you or which you need to advance in your job. We have, for instance, one book which is especially only on compensation and benefits. So if you have a new job where you are involved in this kind of discipline, you can only do this course. And all those courses, if you just one course or 3 courses or 2 courses, we will provide you a certification of the Berkeley Middle East Training Center. So you will not leave without the certification. You will, of course, not get the certification of the whole course, so it's not going to be this exam, but you're going to be certificated by Berkeley. Very interesting and very important is, and I guarantee for that, having more than 30 years of practical experience as an HR executive in international companies, multinational environments, it will be very, very practical oriented. We will not only do theory, we will talk a lot of what happens out there in the world. How does it look really compared to the theory? That's going to be very interesting, and I promise it will be extremely interesting and never boring. And then, of course, self-study, additional individual self-study is necessary as well.